Do you ever harm yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed? For many people, self-harm is a way of coping with problems. It may help them to express feelings that they cannot otherwise put into words, or distract them from life, or it releases emotional pain. Hello, my name is Dr. Carolyn T. Long, and I'm a therapist, minister, author, and consultant. And I want to talk to you a few brief moments about self-harm or self-injury. Self-harm is also referred to as self-injury, as self-inflicted violence, as non-suicidal self-injury, and as self-injurious behavior. It refers to a spectrum of behaviors of injury that is intentionally self-inflicted. The most common form of self-injury involves one cutting the skin using a sharp object such as a knife or a razor, and also the term self-mutilation is also used at times. Self-injurious behavior involves a prevalent problem in our society, affecting 4 to 5% of individuals in the U.S. It is most commonly found among teens and young adults. A study that was done on a college campus by Whitlock in 2006 found that 1 in 5 of the women that he surveyed had a lifetime history of self-injury. Self-injury is a way that a person copes with the problem, but is certainly not a cure. The problem is that the relief comes for the moment, but then, of course, self-injury creates other types of problems. Self-harm is a way of expressing and dealing with very deep emotions and deep distress. It may sound really contradictory to someone on the outside, but to someone who is self-injurious, hurting themselves makes them feel better. It may feel like an addiction. It may be that the person really wants to stop after a while, but they feel they do not know how to stop. They feel they cannot give it up because it's the only thing that keeps them completely from breaking down. If that's you, if this is you, then you deserve to feel better, but you certainly do not deserve to be hurt or harmed in order for you to feel better. There is help for you, no matter what you are going through, that you can receive new ways of coping while you are also waiting to overcome the problem. If you're like many people who self-injure, then you would like to keep your behavior a secret. So you may be hiding the fact under lots of clothing so that no one will see the scrapes or the scars, because there is a lot of shame associated with being a self-injurious person. And that being the fact, it dispels one of the myths about self-injury. And that myth is that a person who self-injures is just looking for attention. That is not the fact. Most of the time they would like to keep it a secret, and most of the time it isolates them from family and friends until they are finally found out. I've already mentioned the most common form of self-injurious behavior. Other ways that people intentionally hurt themselves is through burning or scalding themselves, hitting themselves or banging their heads, punching things or throwing their body against a hard wall, sticking objects into their skin, intentionally preventing wounds from healing, like continuing to pick off a scab every time a scab begins to heal, or swallowing poisons, substances, or other inappropriate objects. Self-harm can also include other less obvious methods, and that is such as someone driving recklessly, binge drinking, taking too many drugs, or having unprotected sex. Now, there are a few myths about self-injurious behavior, and one I've already dispelled, and that is that the person is looking for attention. A second myth is this, that people who self-injure want to die. That is not really the case either. Actually, it is their only way of really trying to live. They are trying to cope with deep distress and pain in the only way that they know how to do so. And sometimes feeling the pain or seeing the blood trickle down is their reassurance that they are still alive. Because clothing can hide physical injuries, and because inner turmoil can be covered over by a seemingly calm disposition, then self-injurious behavior is very difficult to detect. There are some warning signs, however, and if you would like to have more information about some of the warning signs that you as a loved one or a family member should know in order to assure the safety and well-being of those around you, then contact us. We would love to sit with you and to talk to you about what the warning signs are. If you know someone, or if you yourself are injuring yourself, then now is the time to get help for yourself or to recommend help for your loved one. There is hope, there is help, and there is healing. And thank you so much for listening.